What is up, Renault man? You ready for part 2?
Long time no see.
I know. Where you been all my life?
Just been waiting for you.
You want to give us a little recap on part 1?
I'd love to.
While I drink some water.
For those of you who haven't seen part 1, we just finished recording it. Today we're doing a double feature since it's a 2-part episode of the St. Anne, or St. Annie, however you like to pronounce it. The first episode we got quite a few things. Ash traded Pokemon with some random guy, he got Eradicate for a Butterfree. Then, as the Indian giver that he is, asked for trade back. He got his trade back. There's a whole Team Rocket versus all the trainers in the boat fight, which somehow Team Rocket didn't plan for this at all. I guess they thought they'd just give up all their Pokeballs without any fight. And it looks like the ship is wrecked.
It has turned upside down and is sinking to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
How will they get out of this one?
You know, who knows? Maybe they'll use some kind of water Pokemon or something. I don't know.
Maybe a Magikarp.
Maybe a Magikarp.
Inside of a gold ball.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, is that technically James's Pokemon?
Yeah.
They didn't. Is it though? Because he just gave him a Pokeball with Magikarp, right? Does there have to be some sort of special exchange? Or can you just give someone a Pokeball and now it's their Pokeball?
What happened in my mind was
Pokemon. Wouldn't James have to use his Pokeball?
I feel like he gave James the empty Pokeball and he caught it. You know?
I don't know. I have my suspicions, my doubts.
Right, maybe that still belongs to him.
Yeah. Anyways, maybe we'll find out.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So.
Lethal Squirts.
You're up. Hey.
What up, my dude?
Thanks for joining us, brah. We just finished part 1 of St. Annie's episode. Now we're gonna do part 2.
Hey, meet my son. This is Ian.
Hi.
He'll be.
I thought it was Ian.
Oh yeah.
He'll be joining us today.
Again.
Ryan, and Ian.
Yeah. Oh.
Not much.
Oh, what you getting? Dinner sounds great.
You should get spaghetti.
Ian votes on spaghetti.
Spaghetti. I vote.
I think dinner does sound good.
I know, right? Wait,
all right, guys. Are y'all ready?
Let's do this.
Can we say 4 best friends watching Pokemon? All right.
All right.
Part 2 over with.
Dang, there's a part 2.
We only got one encounter, huh? Gyarados.
Mm-hmm. Lethal Squirts gives it 8 out of 10. All right. It's because all about Gyarados. There was 5.
I like this.
5 Gyaradoses and 1 Magikarp evolution.
That's true. An evolution. I like this episode too, and I think it connects well to the last episode. I mean, it's very different from the last episode, but I think that it improved and built upon it for sure.
I agree.
But yeah, so I guess our only encounter is Gyarados, so that's I guess who we got to choose here. But it's a good choice. Always a good choice, Gyarados.
I would choose the Rattata that died while the ship was sinking.
Okay. You saw like a random Rattata body floating around?
Nah, but that would have been worth it.
Yeah, let's face it, it's a big boat. There has to be some stowaway rats on there somewhere.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah.
All dead.
I would choose the dead rat.
You know, in the chef's kitchen too, there's probably some live crabbies, you know, to feed the guests.
Feed on.
Yeah, you just always gotta go. You always gotta go there, don't you, Ryan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say they're, even though Krabbies could probably breathe in water, you know, I'm saying from the ocean depth pressure alone, they're crushed and dead.
Why isn't like Ash dead though? Because the ocean pressure should have absolutely killed Team Rocket.
But I'm assuming you're going with Gyarados, huh? Let me guess.
Of course, yeah.
Let me guess. Just kidding. I'm going with Gyarados.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Who do you pick? Gyarados or Gyarados? Gyarados or Gyarados? There was 5 of them.
It's a hard one.
Which one do you pick? Is the main question.
I take Gyarados number 3.
I take number 2. The first one to come to the aid. The first responder.
Yeah, I'd pick the last one because that'd probably be me. Just like,
was that today?
we have to spin in a circle again. I hate this. Why is this our thing?
Can we rain check? Do we have to today?
Shut up, Ryan. It's our instinct. Just do it. Yeah. Well, you know what? About this episode, I wasn't a huge fan of them trying to balance the boat. Like I could have done away with that. I didn't think that was very funny. But the rest of the episode definitely had some funny moments. I liked the Bible reference. Always like that. That's awesome. Thank you, Brock, for bringing some religion into Pokemon. But that was great, seeing the Pidgeotto find Team Rocket. The whole Gyarados thing was funny. The evolution looked great. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a good second part. I didn't know there was going to be a third part, but a good continuation of the first part. And I think as far as our characters go, they just kind of had to put everything behind them and work with Team Rocket to try to get out of there. The Magikarp not being able to get them out of there was hilarious. And like Brock just giving up on them and wanting to give them an ocean burial.
Yeah.
All of that was primetime comedy right there. I think this last episode and this one have been the funniest episodes for me so far.
Oh wow, okay. What about you, Ian?
I give it a 5 out of 5. I absolutely love this episode.
He gives a perfect rating. Interesting.
I also could have, I could have done with more science. I feel like they would have died from the pressure.
Oh, from going down that far? Yeah.
No, let alone them actually swimming up that fast to the surface. They would have imploded in on themselves.
I do think it was interesting and cool that they let Misty be the savior this time. Like, not only did she have the water Pokemon to help them get out of there and save them from the Gyaradoses, she was also the one that was talking about, hey, maybe we go this way and the boat, if we come she knew where everything was on the boat, how they can escape, and she was kind of the hero of this story, which is cool because I don't feel like we've had a real hero in any of the episodes. But this time, I feel like I think this episode actually had a real hero, and it was Misty. And, hats off to Misty.
Yeah, I definitely.
So I really liked her in this episode a lot.
I definitely think she was due for, an episode. She doesn't get to really be the star very often, or a main focus or plot driver, so it was nice to see her kind of take that role on. She's mostly like a punching bag, or a thing to be manipulated,
right?
Or comic relief. I love this episode. I love this episode for Team Rocket. I feel like this dives so much more into their relationship and their personalities. They're both narcissistic and they're both self-absorbed, vain, but it shows they're deeper than that. Jesse he had a fear of heights, a fear of dying, or James did, sorry. And Jesse's snap out of this, we're doing this together. They were there for each other.
Yeah.
And they weren't, when Jesse thought he had the solution, they weren't above, sorry, they were there for each other, And
Yeah, when it truly counts, they'll say it, right? Most of the time, they're always together. Like, I feel like their love language is like the quality time, right? Like, they're always together. They always do everything together. They don't treat each other very kindly, but like the way they show that they care about each other is always being together. But it seems like in this moment, when it's really necessary, she also uses another love language, which is words of affirmation, right? Is to show him, like, I am always with you, but let me tell you right now, I'm going to tell you with my voice, with my words, I'm here with you.
Yeah, and on top of that, they do a great way of visually showing it too. When everyone's laying down on the raft to sleep, you know, like Brock, Ashley, and Misty, they're separated. Not only by their sleeping bags, but by space. You know, while Team Rocket are huddled together, you know, and supporting each other. You know, for not only sleep, but warmth too, you know, and comfort. They show it visually as well as with words and with actions. You know, like they go the extra step and not just say that they care, but they show it too.
Yeah.
And I feel like this episode does a really good job of fleshing them out, letting us get to know them better. You know, like they're like you see on our screen of them relaxed on the beach. You know, like they have common interests. They finish each other's sentences. You know, like they know each other. You know,
yeah.
I get more of a sibling than, you know, like romantic vibe from them. You know, but I feel like they're definitely each other's family. You know, and it shows. And that was my favorite part of the episode, was watching them kind of grow as characters. Maybe not in a meaningful, mature way, but as a person.
I'm glad you pick up on these things, man. You're very observant. I wouldn't have picked up on them laying together. And that does say a lot about like what the animators were doing there.
Yeah, I don't think it was an accident, you know, and
I don't think so either. Yeah. So what are you thinking as far as a rating?
I give it a. You know what? I was gonna say this real quick, but can we talk about how like Meowth bit the Magikarp and it like broke his teeth, but Jesse's like foot or James's foot wasn't really hurt that bad by kicking it. I would feel it's like a rock, you know.
I don't know. I feel like Meowth's teeth aren't that strong. That's just like second time he's broken his teeth.
But I give this episode a solid. Like I'm with Lethal Squirts here. 4 out of 5. Meowth bites the butt.
I actually I'm actually for the first time in Pokemon Poke Showing history, and going to agree with you 100% and give it 4 ocean burials.
I mean, oh my gosh, can we just talk about how ruthless they were? Like Misty has a Staryu. I mean, yeah, Staryu. She could have saved Team Rocket. Team Rocket has both.
Your Pikachu was like...
And they left them there to die.
I know.
It wasn't
After
like
they saved them.
It wasn't like they were running out of time. You know, like there was time between
their line of like morality. I don't know, like their values here are kind of. At first, Goldeen finds them, and they're like, "Okay, they're still alive. I guess we should pull them out of the water." And then afterwards, it's like, "Okay, you guys aren't like passed out. You guys figure it out, right? We'll go up with the water." And then they come, and then they find the bodies again. Pidgeotto does, and then it's like, "Okay, well, it looks like they're dead. We don't check pulses or anything, but it looks like we're dead. So I guess we'll just throw them in the water."
Pikachu was visibly upset that Meowth wasn't dead.
He was doing that swiper no swiping. Oh man!
He was visually upset that Meowth wasn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
This was the Meowth that just an episode earlier was cheering him on to beat a Raichu that he had just gotten his butt whooped by.
Yeah. They don't know that though. I mean, I guess they did a little bit, but I feel like a lot of the reason I give it like the last episode I did 3.5, this time I did 4. I think that little half star extra was just because the comedy was even better this episode than the last, and we didn't have so much shenanigans with like hey, here's a million Pokemon fighting all of Team Rocket. Like, it knows, this episode knows what it is. It's a try to escape this boat, try to survive. It was a survival episode, and it was up to the end. Even when you think they're safe, all of a sudden, here's tons of Gyarados coming after you. It was all a survival episode, and we don't know what happens, right? Like, we still, like, they just got hit with the Dragon Rage, and we'll find out what happens next. But yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, and I mean, like, on that, like, this was like the classic trope where, you know, like the bad guys and good guys have to work together to, you know, like, work through a common problem, you know, and
yeah,
I feel like they didn't do a very good job executing that, you know, like, it would have been better if, like, they came into an obstacle where, you know, like how, like, where Ash uses Bulbasaur to get across the thing, you know, where if, like, Brock could get, you know, like, figure out, like, oh, I was at this part, like, of the boat earlier, like, actually the right way is to go this way, you know, or like, there's something in front of them, and Charmander couldn't melt through it, and Team Rocket's like, oh, let me use Arbok to use acid, you know, like, there was more of a cooperative act to work through it together, you know.
They're not, yeah, I don't know if they're there.
I feel like it would have done the trope a better service than what they did do, you know.
I think I like it better the way it was. But I wouldn't have hated it if they didn't like that. I do like how even when Team Rocket's cheering for them, it still has to be at a distance. It still has to be like, wait, we're the bad guys. Wait,
yeah.
You know, like, even in the, like you said, in the boat, I think that was very symbolic. Yes, they were all cuddled together, but there was a big space between them. Like, there has to be, right? Like, as far as James and Jesse, no matter how many times they have to work with Ash, Brock, and Misty, they're always going to be at odds against them. It's always going to be them versus them. So, yeah. But dang, I did not know that Ekans could just shoot poison, like acid poison that just eats anything up. That was pretty surprising too.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, well, first time ever we agree on a rating.
Right?
And agree on our encounter.
Yeah. And it took us, how many episodes? Like 16 or something?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was better than the Samurai episode, but I still think it was pretty good.
I'm not giving you a reaction. Not today. not today. Wow, man. That was good. Well, is there just one more episode, or how many more parts are there to this story?
I think there's one more. Before we go, let's look.
Does it say part 1, part 2, and part 3?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But episode 17 is Island of the Giant Pokemon. Another iconic episode. It's definitely the conclusion of the 3 parts. I know the Tentacle one is a standalone episode.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
And then can we talk about episode 19? I am about it.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I remember it being kind of creepy when I was a kid.
Oh, for sure.
Well, thank you guys for joining us for our double feature today. This was a fun one. I actually laughed throughout it and enjoyed these episodes quite a bit.
Yep. I enjoyed it too. It was great. I'm glad for them to finally give Team Rocket an episode like this. You know,
yeah,
it's always,
sure.
you know, you can appreciate a villain when you feel for the villain. You know, like a Thanos kind of thing. You know.
Yeah, I think the movie industry is starting to realize that. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have a lot more interesting experiences with Team Rocket. I don't I don't love Team Rocket when it's just, how you explained, like when it's just them doing their little slogan and then trying to steal Pikachu, and that's that.
Yeah.
Like, this is when Team Rocket is at its best for sure. And even like the Raichu episode, that was Team Rocket. I mean, and these two episodes are kind of like, they're not really villains. And I think that Team Rocket could also be interesting when they're villains. I just feel like they kind of stagnate, they're very stagnant with their strategies, I guess, of what they do, right?
Yeah. They kind of just try the same thing over and over again, to quote me out.
Yeah.
Another hole,
Yeah, I know. I was just going to say, I think we've already got a few episodes without holes. I'm kind of excited about that. Kind of happy. But yeah. You guys, you keep showing your significant other your Nala eyes.
Or save
How did we even start this? It was the Pikachu. It was the first episode, right?
Yeah, Pikachu's giving Ash some hardcore Nala eyes.
When he's saving him from the Spearows, yeah. Yeah.
Remember to ding your banana off your significant other's chin? Just someone's chin. Yours or someone else's?
Yeah.
Bananas.
Just a big, lovely bunch of bananas.
Bananas belong on chins.
And you know what? They can be green. They can be yellow. They can be brown, black. Whatever you're into. It's not about race. It's not about any of that. You should just accept all of them.
It's not about the outside of the banana. It's about the inside banana.
The inside is white. What are you saying?
It's white and gushy and mushy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, I see.
Blue.
All right.
Red.
Thank you guys again for watching. I'm excited for the next episode. I remember just a little bit about the giant island, but I remember it's quite an adventure.
It's got a twist, that's for sure.
Oh man, I missed this comment from Lethal Squirts earlier. He said, I bet that Brock wants the girl from the Pokemon Center. Yep.
Yeah, he's actually referring to this scene right here. I don't know if you can see the background with Jesse and James on the lawn chairs.
Uh-huh.
It was doing a little zoom in on Jesse, and he's like, I bet that's how Brock wants the Pokemon Center.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna, no comments here, because, yeah, no comments.
Alright. Well, that does it for our Poke Showing.
Bye, audience. Bye, Lethal Squirt.
See y'all next Thursday, 8 p.m. Central.
Bye, Brian. Bye, Father. No.